We're here today. You just coming back from your trip from Phoenix.
Yeah, Scottsdale, Arizona, baby.
Come on, man.
80 degrees when I left yesterday.
When I first met you, I think one of the things that intrigued me the most was some of the names that you were dropping. And it wasn't that you were trying to. It was really kind of more of the names that inspired you, names you're associated with. Mm-hmm. One that really stuck out to me was Proctor and Gallagher.
Yeah.
Tell us how you got connected with that association.
Man, it's a great story. You know, back in, I guess, 2007, 8, somewhere along there, the book The Secret came out.
Yep.
So I was had some stinking thinking, so I thought, hey, I'll just get this book and read it.
Yeah.
And I was on my way to India on a church mission trip. We have a Bible college over there that our church supports, built. And so I just bought that book. You know, if you ever fly to India, it's, I guess, 15 hours out of New York straight across. So you got plenty of time to do whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, everything was running behind. Planes got, situated, canceled and moved. And so we land and we have like 45 minutes to get to our next plane and then get on the plane to go to Mumbai. That's where we headed. So, man, we're running through the airport and it's pretty small book. It's about like the size of that one right there I just gave you. And this tall African-American lady came up to me like we were walking by and tapped me on the book and stopped me. She goes, that book changed my life. Never seen her before, never seen her after, don't know who she was.
Wow.
And I was like, I better read this book then.
Yeah.
So it made such an impact on me. I've probably read the book 50 times.
Yeah.
I've written it out completely probably 6 or 8 times,
Wow.
And so Bob Proctor was part of that interview process of what he talked about. Yeah. And so I just assumed that I'd meet the man. So I joined a thing. And, of course, it was really crazy because I was trying to get into it. My other businesses, I was growing. And probably about 2 or 3 weeks before Bob passed, I was right around Concord Road on 65. And this intuition came over me. And I was like, if you're going to teach under this man, you better do it.
Yeah.
So I called and got signed up, and of course I didn't even know he was sick. But then a couple of weeks later, he'd passed away. So anyway, Sandy took over, and I became a consultant and a coach with them, and working on some more certification. And so
Wow. So you got inspired not only just reading about some of the work of Bob, but his influence in The Secret. How has that catapult or propelled you as a man in your business?
In every aspect of my life.
Yeah.
One thing that Bob talks about a lot and in the situation with especially in The Secret is the way you think controls your life.
Yeah.
Changes everything about your life. Because what I've learned is whatever you think about creates your feelings.
Yeah.
And your feelings create your actions, and your actions create your habits. Your habit creates your character, and your character creates your destiny. So, and he does one of his staples that he does is called the stick man. Yeah. And as you go through all this stuff, it comes out to results. And he says, if you don't like your results, you got to change the way you think. Yeah. Well, back in the day, I didn't even know I could change the way I thought. Yeah. I didn't know I could change how much money I made. I didn't know I could change my attitude. I didn't know any of that stuff. Yeah. So, I read of his books, read his stuff, and signed up and did it. And, of course, Bob's gone now, but Sandy's took over, and she's a beautiful lady. She's a huge horse person. Yeah. She's got a big ranch up in Kentucky. And, rides these great big, it's like 5 gated horses. That's just
show horses. Yeah. So I'm guessing she has any affiliation. Now, this is off the record, on the record, with the Kentucky Derby up there at all?
No, I don't think so. No, she just does. She just does gated horses where they walk different.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I'm talking about like probably 17 hands. These horses are massive, and she's probably 5'7", 5'6" with heels on. Yeah, and she gets on this 1,500, 2,000 pound monster firecracker and rides him out. Man, she's great. Yeah,
sheesh, man. So when you started really kind of enlighten me to who you were, I would say influenced by and motivated, mentored by, you also mentioned Myron Golden.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What turned you on to Myron Golden?
Man, I love that guy. Yeah. What turned me on to Myron was the same thing that turned me on to Bob Proctor. We had some similar activities, some, and the thing that when I would teach, I would, I don't want to say mix the Bible with it, but I would teach this and use scripture to back it up because it's in there.
Yeah.
And then when I saw him, that's the first thing he did. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, I couldn't get enough of him. I just listened to him, especially about business. And then one of Myron's statements was that, how to run a business is in the Bible. It tells you exactly how to build it.
Boom.
And that's exactly how I built my business.
Yeah.
But I was what Bob calls an unconscious competent.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
But I was reading the Bible and pulling those laws of the universe that God created. Says, if you reap and you sow and you reap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I started doing that. But that's what Myron did. That's what turned me on to him.
Wow, man. As an entrepreneur, I think we share the same interests, and I think it's refreshing. I was telling my wife, I said we come across very unique clients, and in my business, in both of our businesses, our AV production company and our creative agency, soon to be, we're launching a tech company later this year. I've never called a client in the last 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
Never advertised, even though we have advertisement marketing part.
Sure.
Literally, we set up our businesses to, okay, God, whoever you send us, if your word says what it is and we trying to follow, you're our pretty much co-founder, you're the CEO, you bring in the business.
That's right.
So when I run into guys like you, you're a byproduct of who God sent our way and vice versa.
Sure.
So it's usually always something more that meets the eye, besides our skills, besides our character. There's something else that's trying to get us to cross paths, saying, "Hey, he has something for you. You have something for him. Y'all need to figure that out."
That's right.
And what makes it easier is when you find out that you're on the same frequency, the same wavelength. We can listen to the same music.
That's right.
And being able to hear what you're all about, and seeing what really drives you and what drives you, even doing the next right thing, like helping people come out of one area of life to the next area of life by taking just one day at a time, focusing on the next right thing. And so when it comes to your business, what was, when you're gathering all this new information from Bob Proctor and all the other books that you were influenced by, do you remember the next right thing that made you go, this is what they're talking about? And you just took off like lightning, like just a horse, like a racehorse, where it just kind of took off and you knew exactly what you were called to do.
Man, there's several that pop in my mind. So when you say that, things are just shooting off in my mind. So I got to try to pull them all back together. But back in 2007, 6, whenever things kind of started changing and going down, I started doing the opposite of what everybody else was doing.
Yeah.
And I used to walk around church and everywhere else and go, I live in Goshen. I don't know what's going on in Egypt. I don't care. Yeah. I live in Goshen. God's going to take care of this. If gas, I think back then gas was like $3.98 a gallon or $4.25 or something like that. It was crazy. Yeah. And I said, well, I said, I'll supply all your needs according to my riches and glory. Yeah. Here I am. I need them.
Wow.
And so, and those are one of the things. And then once I based my thinking off of the book and what God said, and it was almost like things started changing, and I wasn't doing anything different. Other than thinking different. Sending out different prayers, sending out different vibes, sending out different frequencies about who I attract and what I do and how I do it. And so just, man, I'm telling you, just weird things like that happen.
Wow.
And they're only weird because I didn't understand them at the time. Yeah. And so like we were just got back from this, this grow your business part with PGI. Yeah. And when we start talking about these things, I was just telling people that, once you learn how to pray and manifest and actually do what I always say, act like you already have it, act as if, that's what I say.
Yes, sir.
And then I was telling them this week, you better be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
Because you just might get it.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. And so, again, back to how you got here.
Yeah.
I mean, you wasn't looking for me and I wasn't looking for you.
No, sir.
But I was looking. Yeah. And God said, here he is.
Yeah.
And your buddy introduced me to you and and it was an instant connection right there.
Yes, sir. I love you said a couple of key things that I think I follow along with my life, in the Bible says, ask, seek, knock.
That's
Like
right.
you know somebody's going to answer you.
That's right. Yeah.
Like you know you're going to find it. And that's moving as if you can't fail, as if you can't like you can't be stopped. You said something else too earlier, where it was a shift in mindset, where you have to start not only thinking of something new, but really thinking differently.
Yeah.
In the Bible, where that makes connection with me is where it says, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Also, that pops up, "As a man thinketh."
In his heart, so is he.
Come on, see, I ain't got to finish.
So do you know what the Greek word for, or what that means when it says in your heart?
From what I've learned, is in your subconscious.
It's your subconscious mind.
Yes, sir.
That's exactly right.
Yes, sir.
So I mentioned to you earlier about the stick man. We won't do it today, but I'm going to come here and draw it out for you one time so we can go through the whole thing. Yeah. So you have your senses that you live on this physical earth by. You see, hear, smell, taste, and touch.
Yeah.
That's how you relate to everything. Mm-hmm. But I got a smart dog at home.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's how she lives too. See, hear, smell, taste, and touch. So what God gave us was some higher faculties. Yeah. Which is your imagination, your reasoning, your will, your emotions. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's how we are supposed to operate, not through the see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. But no, we don't know how to do that. Yeah. So that's one of the things that Bob Proctor talks about a lot in there. So anyway, when it comes through, when it gets into the subconscious mind, that's what comes out, because it can't deviate. It's deductive. Whatever you give it, once it goes through the conscious mind, it gets set. It's why they call it a habit. It just happens. That's where your emotional state is. That's where it goes. So that's where the Greek talk about the heart. Yeah. So out of the mouth, the subconscious speaks, because that's what you believe. Yeah, and that's Bible too. That's Bible too. Out of the heart, the mouth speaks. That's right. That's what it says. There's life and death in the power of what comes out of here. That's right. Come on, man. I'm telling you. Look, you can go back to Bob Proctor, Earl Nightingale. I don't care how far you go back. Yeah. Hundreds of years. Yeah. Whatever they said is in that book called the Bible. Come on, man. It does. You said something that triggered something, that Earl Nightingale. Now, for anybody under the age of 50, when you hear names like Earl Nightingale, Napoleon Hill, yeah, all these guys, the way I receive it is either you were really, really looking, or something was really, really looking for you. That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. Because you don't run across those names and it don't mean something to you. Right. And Earl Nightingale, he kind of stated that same kind of phrase, that what God has given man is the ability to think. That's right. In very, very complex ways. Everything else you can find in a horse or a pig. Man. That's right. And that's exactly right. So to really adapt that, what some would call millionaire mindset, some would call a value mindset. They would call all different types of mindsets. It's really a shift in consciousness. Yeah, that's right. When it comes to Christians and the ones who believe in the Most High, the one who has established and the author of all things, it's easy and sexy for us to say, have faith. But the other formula for that faith is action. Now, I understand why some of us would get hung up on when the Bible says God is pleased by our faith. Mm-hmm. But he also says, hey, if you're not producing something, I got to come off and prune you so something else can grow. Yeah. Yeah. Why do you think so many Christians are easy to say and shout faith and faith and faith, have it, but can't make it move, can't put it into action? Yeah. Well, because their level of faith. I think I said this to you before, and I've only heard one other person say this in my life. It's actually in that book I just told you about, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. Yeah. People are like water. They seek their own level. Oh, wow. So, if you want to see a healing, that's a different kind of church than just, if you want to do this, then this is different. Mm-hmm. And people have limited thinking. Yeah. Most of that I found is because people that I work with are because of where they were raised, what somebody said to them. Yeah. People tell you about money being evil. People tell you about you think you better than us. You moving out of a neighborhood. What are you doing driving that car for? Whatever it is. And that's just, this is funny. I'll get back to faith say, but what I found is that the reason they're upset with me is because I did what they wanted to do, but they didn't do it.
That's the
I'm
action
the one
part.
that stayed up at midnight working and writing and exercising my mind and reading the books and, working 6 days a week. And, I can't really say the term right, but whatever you do in the off hours is what you get praised for in the daylight hours.
That's Bible again. Not your preacher today. Because it says, whatever you do in secret.
There you go. I just said, there you go. Yeah.
So the Bible says, whatever you do in secret unto God, like you're not being a hypocrite, meaning, hey guys, look what I'm doing in my long time. Look, it's like, no, you're building yourself. You're changing your mindset. You're reading all the things you need to read. You're eating some of the things you probably need to eat, or you're listening to the people you need to listen to. That in time, when you acknowledge God, which you have, he says he will reward you openly.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly right.
That's what he says.
Exactly what happened.
So when people see all the things that you have, like studios and an amazing business, a beautiful family, this has really been the work of what you've done in the dark.
That's right.
In your subconscious here first.
Yeah, amen.
And then behind the scenes in the shed, in the garage.
Yeah.
Maybe trying to figure out things right with litigations and how to form the company and how to talk to the wife. What should we do? What we shouldn't do?
Yeah.
A lot of people won't see that part, but when you were communicating it just 30 seconds ago, you were saying action, 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 failed, action, 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 action.
That's right. So action, action, failed is a lesson.
Yeah.
I learned a lesson. You either win or you learn.
Yeah.
And if you can look at life that way, but the people that I know, well, I know a lot of people, but everybody that we talk to, different things, is they either win or they lose. Yeah. And that's not it. Yeah. You either win or you learn. I think it was Joyce Meyer said, there's no social promotion in the Holy Spirit. Either you pass the test or you take it again.
Take it again.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And so back to faith. So people have a ceiling on their faith because it didn't happen for my mama, it didn't happen for my dad, it didn't happen for my family, and so you cannot live above your belief. Yeah. You just can't do it. Yeah. And you try.
Oh, wow.
But if you don't change your belief, you don't reevaluate what you believe in, and all of your beliefs were given to you by somebody. And that's the thing we have to do. Once you get a little older, I call it the 3 R's. You got to review, rewrite, and rethink. Yeah. Rethink, review, and rewrite. Rethink, review, and rewrite. Yeah. So I just got the right to sit down and go, why do I believe this? Mm-hmm. I mean, who the heck told me that money was bad? Yeah. Okay. Well, where did I get this belief about people at? Yeah. Where did I get this belief about that from? And people's too busy. They just don't have time to sit down and think about those things. And that's where we try to bring it into them. Like, hey, just think about this. Yeah. Is this really what you want to believe? Is this really what you want to do? Yeah. And if it is, okay, that's it's your prerogative, man. It's your life. And but if you just want a little bit more, then change the way you think. Yeah. Change what you expose yourself to, and just go for what you want. Yeah. I tell people this all the time. I have never in my life, and I could be wrong, I'm not that worldly, seen somebody pray for something and start after it, and they get less than what they already had. But this is what really drives me crazy. We might have to edit this. This is what drives me crazy.
Yeah, no.
Is when people lose, so they say, and then they go, well, it must not have been God's will.
Oh,
that drives me crazy.
Wow.
Because I've never seen the creator or the guy that gave you 10 trillion cells in your body, 60,000 thoughts a day, 200 miles or 2,000 miles of blood veins in your thing, and ability to reason and think, go, yeah, you can't have that. Yeah. I built this whole world for everything, but no, you can't have that. Antjuan, that's not for you, my friend. That's for that guy. Yeah. That's crazy thinking to me. Wow. But a lot of people believe that. Yeah. You have no idea how many times I hear that. Wow. Well, I did this. I really tried, Mr. Ron. Mr. Creech, I tried. I promise you, but guess what? It just wasn't God's will. Yeah. Really? Because that guy right there just did it.
Yeah, somebody did it.
Yeah.
It's been done.
It's been done.
Ain't nothing new under the sun.
nothing new under the sun. So
Yeah,
why could Antjuan do it and you can't? Why? I mean, you know,
big. That's big.
And so I really try to help people understand that. And you know, then you go back to faith, and you go, well, why did it happen for him and not me? Okay, there's some things that get into the facts of it.
Yeah.
But you can study it. You can learn it.
Oh yeah.
It's there. It's there. It's there. It's there. What did you say about renewing your mind?
Yeah.
Renew
Transferring every day,
daily. Where you gonna renew it at?
Yeah.
In the Word.
Yeah.
Somebody's Word. In the Word.
Yeah.
In the Word. In the Word. In the Word.
Yeah.
If I want to do what you do, I got to quit selling ladders and start following you around and learning about computers and cameras and lights and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Somebody's already done it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to be successful.
That's good, man. And
people, this is another thing that just drives me nuts. When they start talking about people that preach the prosperity gospel.
Yeah.
I don't know what book that's in.
Yeah.
But in my book, it's just called The Good News of the Gospel.
It's good news, baby.
And the good news is you don't have to live by the law, and you don't have to be that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
it talks a lot about prosperity too.
A lot. A lot. So,
wow. So you really find out how much of a man of his word that Ron really is because when somebody's already successful, already knows a lot, already been through a lot, and then you create an environment. This is his studio. Like, if you don't know, this is this man's studio. When you create an avenue, a resource for you to reshare all of the goodness,
right,
all of the failure, all of the wins, all the success in an environment to where you can give it away practically, that speaks a lot. Because most guys will keep it all to themselves, or it's all about me, and it's not really about you unless you need something from me.
That's right.
I'm watching you take this faith step in action, where most people would just sit around and talk about what they could be doing, and you're doing it even if you don't. He's doing it and don't know how to do it.
I have no idea. also built a laundromat.
Yeah,
had no idea, but I can tell you what I did.
Yeah,
I walked around and prayed over it.
Come on, man.
Over and over and over again.
Come on.
Like you was talking about what changed in my other business. Yeah. Well, I started changing my thinking and got some different thoughts and how the gospel works and who is this. I'd walk around every ladder and touch it and pray over it. Every time. If you worked for me back in the day, you had to watch Creflo Dollar first. I already told you that.
Yeah.
But every time somebody bought something, you had to think Jesus said, "Hey, thank you, God, for that customer. Thank you that we was able to be
good.
here."
That's good.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm just an ordinary dude, man. I'm telling you, I got a C+ education out of high school, but I didn't have really anybody to give me this, and so that's why I want to try to help other people. I mean, I just came for that conference, man. That's powerful.
Tell me a little bit. What was one of the one or two things that stuck out to you about that conference? What's something that's like, oh, I'm taking that back home?
Oh my gosh, man, that was a lot. Goes back to the power of thinking.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you can't do.
Yeah.
There's and this is what Bob always said. Bob Proctor said this. You tell me what you want, Antjuan, and I'll show you how to get it.
Yeah.
Bar none. I don't care.
Wow.
It don't make no difference because there's certain rules that God has created in this universe.
Yeah.
And if you will play by the rules, you will be rewarded.
Come on, man.
And he gave you a gray matter in your head called a brain that can reach out into this universe and pull information out of it.
Come on, man.
And just like I met you and like I met Jim and all these people that have came into my life, we was meditating a little bit with some friends, and there's about 4 or 5 people that come to mind and for me that changed my life in the last 10 years. One of them was a man named John Hancock, and another was
wait, the John Hancock?
He for me he was the John Hancock. Another man named let's see, who was it? John Hancock and Jeff. Gosh, I just lost my thought. I went.
It's all good.
Yeah,
Jeff's out there somewhere.
Yeah, that dude was amazing. And then of course these people that mentored through the thing. Another name, Bob Phillips. And the funny thing about it is these people were from the top to the bottom. There was no just all the top.
Oh wow!
Because I was at the bottom. And I tell the story all the time. Once I started changing my life, trying to figure out like we're doing now, talking about stuff, talking about this. We was out kind of camping one night, and there was a dude there that he knew the Bible, dude. I mean, he knew it. and we had a few cocktails, and he started walking around the fire pit, talking. Every question I answered, I wanted to know he could answer.
Oh wow!
But I spent the last 30 minutes of the conversation trying to keep him from falling in the fire pit. So God works through
Come on, man.
all kind of people.
Yeah.
Because that's where I was. That's the level I was at. Yeah. He brought that man into my life.
Right there where he was.
Right there where I was.
Wow.
Right there.
Sheesh, man.
I've had some amazing stuff happen, dude.
And that's what I love about even the mentorship that you're going to bring on your podcast. I think my son asked me a question, and it got me thinking, like, okay, who makes mentors? Where do mentors are men or people who have put themselves in a position to learn at some point and have been beneficiaries of learning to get from one place to the next place that they want to get back, put themselves in a position where they want to help one.
That's right. Iron sharpens iron. There you go. It's in the Bible again.
Yeah.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, man.
So I would love to do this, and you probably help me. This is another business opportunity we can do.
Hey, there we are.
We should start a online, or whatever you call it, men's group.
Come on.
Well, come in here and do exactly what we're talking about, and then get 50 people on that big TV back there that zoomed in to us, and let's just talk about stuff.
Come on, man.
Because that's what changes your life.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're live. I'm acting like we're live right now. We got a million men online right now. Yeah. I'm a very innovative guy. I spent probably the last 3 to 4 years diving into technology, and between technology, ed tech, and AI, and wasn't planning to do this until 2026, but we already have the foundations for a men's app called Menly.
There you go.
Now, Ron all up in the business, y'all. He already know what's going on, but my heart and what looks like to be his heart, I think we found another lane where we meet on this frequency, is giving back and instilling value in men.
Yeah.
Because when you could change a man's mind, everything he touches changes. His family, his business, his beliefs, his faith. And there's nothing like having other men in the room helping another man up or bringing him another man to his true identity, his true potential. And we're definitely going to make that happen. There's already technology. There's already a platform ready. He didn't even know. But we can make that definitely possible. And I think it should be a part of the show that you're making happen. That would, we can make air every once in a while, but get 1 million men on a thing. We can start with one, but I see millions of men just tagging on there, man.
When this came up not long ago to me, and
brilliant.
I talked to a guy that did that. He had 6,000 men throughout the country was on it. He goes, I started with 4 guys.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'm going to start with 2 then.
Yes, sir.
Me and you.
Yes, sir. Hey, we here, baby.
Me and you, man.
We here.
Me and you.
I believe in that.
Yeah.
I believe in that. And that's not to my own horn a little bit, but the podcast I have is called The Manual.
Oh, is it really? Yeah.
The Manual. And it's for men's, pretty much I'm talking to the man I once was.
That's exactly what they said out there in the course that we were just on.
Come on, man.
They go, the person you're teaching is who you used to be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And the manual is like really giving men the option to become the man that they always wanted to be. And it's strictly for men's kind of crossed over just a little bit. But that's what I feel compelled to. That's my kind of free token back to men, because I was blessed with more mentors than I can count.
That's amazing.
More mentors than I can count. It's probably 20 or 30 men sitting here in this chair.
That's incredible.
And if one can help one, then I think the next community and family that can be built, the next business, can not only just be built in a healthy manner, but can be built by a man of integrity, of true character, and create, hopefully, in his legacy, more men like himself.
That's right.
That's
and I'm sure men's the same way, because there was men at this conference I just came back from. And I got some people there that I've kind of mentored, other than, they're just there trying to do it. And I was like, but you don't see yourself.
Yeah.
And when I tell them what I see out of their energy and out of their beauty and out of their smarts and out of their, if you're talking to a woman, she'll start crying.
Yeah.
If you're talking to a man, he'll put his head down and just like,
I don't
I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's big.
it's amazing that people, I think Myron said this.
Mm.
He goes, the only person in the world that you can't see is you.
Yeah.
He goes, I can look at Antjuan. I go, man, you're awesome. I love that suit you got on. I love your smile. But I can't see my own.
Yeah.
And I think it's in James. No, where's that in the Bible where he talks about going to the mirror?
Mm.
It's like the word.
Yeah,
You know, I go to the word, and then when I
Yeah.
leave, I can't remember. So it's
Yeah.
like a man goes to the
Yeah.
mirror, looks at himself in the mirror, and then walks away, and it's like,
Yeah.
I can't remember what I look like.
Mm.
And people, for it ain't no for unknown reasons.
Yeah.
There's people that's told them this all their life.
Yeah.
And it just blows me away.
Yeah.
I get called arrogant, egotistical when I talk about stuff like that.
It's just confidence. Don't you know? That's all it is. They're not used to that level of confidence and awareness.
Awareness, man. That's
Not used
if
to
you
that
ain't aware
awareness.
of nothing, you'll get run over by the bus. If you don't believe it, go stand in Nolensville Road.
Yes, sir.
See if they won't run over you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got to be aware of these thoughts.
Yeah, man.
What they say, there's like 60, 70,000 thoughts a day.
Yeah.
And so if I tell you, Antjuan, you got to change your way you think, and you go, I don't know how. One, you got to change one thought.
Yeah.
Then tomorrow you got to change another one.
Yeah.
And how do you do that? It tells you in the Bible. Focus on these things that are pure. Good. Okay.
Come on.
Start focusing on that.
Yeah.
Just for a little bit.
Yeah.
The thing that I love about, I guess, being a Christian, that I understood, this is just for me, I understood this for me, is my intentions count more than anything else.
Mm.
I intend to do this.
Yeah.
I try and I try and I try. It's not like you go and turn your life over to Christ tonight and you can walk on water tomorrow.
Yeah.
So my growth, my intentions is every day.
Mm.
And you get credit for that.
Yeah.
You get credit for growing.
Yeah.
And you get grace. And you get mercy. And you get understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come into my life. And then Jeff Duncan, that's a guy. Jeff Duncan comes into my life. And then John Hancock comes into my life. And then, Jim Gray comes into my life. And Nick Hyder comes into my life. And Sandy Gallagher comes into my life. And Bob Proctor comes into my life. And then once you start being the word aware, and you start putting all these pieces together, who was it? Steve Jobs said you can only connect the dots looking backwards. So I can see from 1998 when I was living in my pickup truck, had $20 in my pocket, I can see as plain as day how the Lord led me through all this stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
And I missed some turns. Trust me, I didn't walk a straight line.
Yeah.
I missed some turns.
Yeah.
But there was somebody else.
Yeah.
Because I was asking for guidance.
Yeah.
Asking for guidance. And that's incredible, my friend.
Wow.
For everybody. It ain't just me.
That's a key word is man, we people really in general, we shouldn't be afraid to ask for help.
That's right.
Ask for a new way of thinking.
That's the key. That's it.
It sounds too good. It sounds too good to be true. It sounds too easy.
How does it tell you in the Bible you get saved?
Yeah. Yeah.
Saved by grace.
Saved by grace, man.
By faith.
Come on.
So the way you think, I'm telling you, controls your life.
Yeah.
If you want to change your life, you have to change the way you think.
Come on.
That's it.
Mic drop. There it is.
That's it.
Ron, thanks for today, man. I know you just got back in town and you're getting back into the groove of things, but every time we talk, there should be a red light on.
It should be, man.
Come on. And it inspires me more than you know, and I can't wait how many more people to inspire and uplift and challenge into change. So I'm excited.
Hey, man. Thank you,
Yes,
brother.
sir. You got it,
You're the
man.
man. God
Yes,
bless
sir.
you, bro.
You got it, brother.
Ladder up.
Hey.